Patsy, Connie, and loudmouth Linda, keeping it real, no agenda. Satire, truth, and a whole lot of fun. Politics, crime, we get it all done. From breaking news to a joke or two, we do it our way just for you. We just can't make this stuff up. 1 year strong and we ain't gonna stop. Mic in hand, voices loud, shouting truth, making you proud.
Well, hello.
Hello, everybody. Now, excuse me for 2 minutes because I was running 2 minutes behind, and I'm going to go use the restroom real quick, and I'll be back.
Well, hi, everybody. I hope everybody had a great Monday. I giggled all day long. I watched the Portland riots last night, the protesting, and how interesting it is to know that Antifa comes the home of Portland. Portland is Antifa's home. Just so you guys know that. I was kind of shocked to find that out. So, and I watched this channel last night, and I'm going to give a shout out to this channel because I have never laughed so hard in a bad situation, right? So the name of the channel is Southern Truth 4. And the guy is from Australia, and he was watching Americans make a fool out of themselves. So if you get a chance to watch him, the guy is absolutely a riot. But, you know, in watching all this stuff, you guys would not believe how silly the things that I saw there last night. Absolutely silly. Just silly. There wasn't any reason for it. It was just shows just how not in tune we are. But there was a girl, a lady. I'm not going to say a girl. It was a lady. And she was probably in her mid-50s to early 60s, and she was in a wheelchair. And she had on a helmet. And she had nothing on from the waist up. Nothing. From the waist up. And I'm telling you, I have been truly traumatized because she was extremely well endowed. And here she was in her wheelchair going along. And I sat there thinking, and she's got this helmet on. And I'm thinking, you're out here with no shirt on, showing your tatas to the world and shaking them around and everything. Whatever's wrong in that brain, don't worry, don't wear a helmet because it's already happened. You can't damage it now because it's already damaged. Seriously. Then they had someone dressed up in a chicken outfit.
Where was this?
This is in Portland at the protest last night.
Oh.
And they had a person dressed up in a chicken outfit. And then they had another one dressed in a frog outfit. And I got to laughing so hard because I thought, what has a frog and a chicken got to do with ice? I don't know. You know, why did the chicken get across the road to get to the frog? I mean, guys, it was the craziest situation I've ever seen. I mean, I understand protesting, right? For a good cause. But this was just like a carnival. That was the only way I could describe it. And this guy from Australia is looking at our country and he is laughing. He's laughing so hard, and he said, well, all we need is Miss Piggy to come around the corner and we could have a total Muppet hour.
Exactly. But, you'd think the person dressed as a frog would be a little smarter, because I'm sure a frog would get stuck in ice in the winter.
That was a good one. That was a good one. No, it was, I'm telling you. And then when the lady came rolling up in her wheelchair with her tatas hanging all out and everything, I thought, no modesty. I didn't know what to say.
Well, back in our day, we would say, hi, Spetsy. Back in our day, we would say they want their 15 minutes of fame. Nowadays, they say they do it for likes.
Oh, they do it for likes. Well, this lady didn't have a YouTube channel. She was just rolling along, shaking them. And I thought, I wanted to, seriously, guys, I wanted to take her aside and say, if you think that's attractive, they're hanging down to your waist. They're almost touching your knees. And if you think this is attractive, it's not. The sisters need to be brought up here.
Maybe she was trying to show her good side.
Well, she was wearing a helmet to keep her brain protected. And I thought, well, there's not anything there if she's out there with no clothes on, showing what her attributes off. I found myself, and guys, here I am, 2:00 in the morning watching this. And my husband, poor Clyde is sleeping next to me, and I am laughing, and I can't help it because I'm thinking, really, is this what we've come to? Is this what we've come to? Make a fool out of ourselves and make us look stupid. You were talking about the people dressing up the Renaissance. Well, they were all dressed up in their frog outfits and their chicken outfits. And
honestly, I believe that if they could get away with going partially naked or fully naked, they would.
Good evening, Donna. Well,
Hi, Donna.
I don't know. Maybe she thought she was going to pick somebody up.
Maybe she was hoping.
Maybe that was her pickup line. But if it was, she needs a better one.
Well, you know what? Maybe that was the thing. She was trying to say, I'm down for anything.
Well, maybe, but
one-liners tonight, guys.
That was pretty obvious. It didn't leave much for the imagination, for sure. But I did notice that later as the evening went on and the camera rolled up on her, someone had given her a shirt.
Good.
Can you imagine? Here's the lady. You know what? Here, take this shirt. I'm sick of looking at those.
Right? Been funnier if a man would have given her the shirt.
Well, I don't know who gave her the shirt. Right. I mean, it could have been a man that gave her the shirt. It was pretty. I was in shock, but I did see some pretty big people there. Nick Shirley was there. He was wandering around. J.D. DeLay was there. He was wandering around.
And I lead a sheltered life. I don't know those people.
They're big. They're big YouTubers.
Okay.
Well, you know what? But see, I did learn, which was interesting, is that Portland is the home of Antifa. That's where it originated. And I thought, yeah, that makes sense. Because remember when they blocked off that whole area and called it their country? Remember that? That wasn't, but what, 5 years ago or so? So this is where it all developed and started. And they've never left. Well, they're they're pretty big. You probably know Nick, but probably don't pay any attention to his name. Nick is the one that he goes through the crowds and asks people questions. Kind of a young guy, about in early 30s, and he asks people about what they think, if it's right to do this or if it's right to do that or whatever. And that's what he's known for. So yeah, that's what Nick does. And he was there, and they said, "Are you planning on staying here very long?" Well, he said it all depends on exactly where it all boiled down to, because he didn't want to get hurt the last time somebody punched him and stole his camera and stomped on it. Now, come on, guys. They think they've got freedom of speech, and they can be out there and they can be showing their tatas and they can be doing all of this kind of stuff. Why can't we film them in their stupidity? No, they don't want to be filmed. So they want to take your camera and stomp on it.
I don't know the guy's name, but he's on Facebook. And he's a good-looking black guy. And he wears like a faux fur hat with long things that you can tie underneath.
Uh-huh.
And he's constantly knocking his own race. He had a video, and it was of a black man talking. And he's like, "Look, y'all." He's like, "I'm out in white suburbs, and it's 1:00 in the morning." And he opens the door to the post office. He says, "Look, y'all." He's like, "Post office, the doors are open at 1:00 in the morning. There's a scale sitting here. You can weigh your packages. You can blah, 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 blah." And then the other guy popped on. That's his channel. And he's like, "Y'all know that would never happen in a black neighborhood." He's like, "The scale would be gone, and we know for what reason." And, he's like, that shit would be locked down tight in black neighborhoods. He's like, because you know why? Blacks don't know how to keep anything nice. If it's shiny and glittery, they gonna fuck it up.
Wow.
That's sad.
I don't know. I know some really nice black people.
Well, I'm saying that's sad from somebody
from their own race.
Yeah. There's horrible white people too. But
oh yeah. Oh yeah, there's some trailer trash that would let me tell you, we got some people in our race.
I lived in a trailer park once.
There's always a party in a trailer park. Are you kidding me? There you go. It's the truth. You're ever looking for a party and you don't know where to go to a trailer park. There's always a party going on in a trailer park.
Yeah, short story. When I lived in a trailer park, my older son was 17. He was going in the Navy. He had...
Look at this. I don't even know what to say. I just don't even know what to say. I don't want to ride a bike naked.
And he was going in the Navy. And he had a girlfriend that was 15. The parents decided that it was okay for her to spend the night at my house. I didn't say it was okay.
Oh.
And come 11 o'clock, and I'm like, are you going to go home? And she's like, "Oh, I'm spending the night." And I'm like, "Oh, no, you're not. I'll drive you home." And when I talked to the parents were like, "Well, we met when we were in junior high, and we're married and we're still together." I says, "Well, that's great. I'm glad that worked out for you, because I was a junior in high school when I met Chris's dad. Hence, he's not around."
Yeah.
I said, "So that's not going to happen and normally I'm not like that, but the next thing that came out of the mother's mouth, 'Why is your son destroying my daughter's life by going in the Navy?'" I'm like, "Excuse me? I think this is about my son bettering himself. It's not about your daughter." And hence she cheated on him while he was at boot camp. So there you go.
Wow.
Somebody left a note in my door and said she was cheating.
Wow.
I never told my son till he got home. I didn't want him to be in boot camp, sitting dwelling on that crap. You know.
Well, Kermit was there last night. You know, these guys were okay. All right, so we know we have the furries, right? This is a real thing, but these people were not wearing their costumes to be furries. They were wearing their costumes to not be recognized. There were so many people, you could count them and pick them out, the ones that were getting ready to or were going to do something bad, that they all had masks on. They all had masks on. They'd pull their masks up where you couldn't see them. And it's like, you're so proud of what you're doing out here that you're screaming and calling the police all kinds of horrible names and making vulgar comments and using your profanity and all this kind of stuff. If you're so proud of that, why are you covering your why are you covering your face? Why? Well, this other lady wasn't covering her face.
Well, I don't understand because they just slap him on the wrist in Portland and let him go on their merry way.
This is what one of the people said in Portland. They said, "Don't worry about it. They're going to be free if they get put in jail because cops do nothing. They're told to stand down." Just like they're told to stand down in California.
Think about this scenario. Just saints. Yeah. As a police officer, a canine unit police officer, and your partner was killed in the line of duty, and they let that psycho out on $25,000 surety bond or 10%.
Yeah.
$250. I mean, that's $2,500.
Yeah.
How would you feel?
I'd be mad. I'd be furious.
I would be too.
But here's the thing. They do this kind of stuff to do just that. Make us angry. Make us fight. It's like the bully on the playground. If they push you enough and they spit at you and they do all this stuff, they're eventually going to get you to react, right? Well, you know what happens when you don't react? It makes them madder yet, right? They're going to do even crazier stuff because they don't get that reaction. Well, the lady with her naked body showing yesterday, I'm sorry, I've been totally traumatized. Somebody out there's going to do something worse.
Because I know that in some states, if you spit on a cop, you can be charged with attempted murder.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of those. But if you're told to stand down, do anything, and you're going to lose your job.
If I couldn't do my job and take an oath, obviously I've never taken an oath like that because, I don't have the cojones for that.
No, I don't either.
But if you take an oath to serve and protect and you're told to stand down, I'd be looking for a new job, a new place to live, a new city to go be a police officer in something.
Well, that's what they would have to do because their bosses above them tell them they have to stand down. And a lot of these police officers have families they have to take care of, right? We all know what it's like to have to take care of a family. We put up with things that we don't want to or shouldn't have to, but we have to feed our family. We all, let's be honest. We all have that addiction to eat.
And why are we wasting money paying these police officers that can't do their job?
Well, it's not the police officers' fault. We've got to go.
I know. That's what I'm saying, though. They're wasting taxpayers' dollars.
Yes, they are.
Paying these men to stand around and look stupid. And that in itself is wrong. They just stand there. They can't say anything. They can't do anything. Nothing. Just stand there and have people screaming and spitting on them as they scream in their face. No, nobody deserves to be treated like that. Nobody.
But I thought that Trump just signed a law that said that they don't have to put up with that anymore.
I hope so.
He said that no person should ever have to go through that. The thing is, right? Here's the thing. We all know politics at the workplace. So you say, okay, well, he said I don't have to put up with this, so I'm gonna start doing my job, and then the higher ups go, okay, well, guess what? You're gonna start looking for a new job.
Right. Right,
Because
Donna. And governors.
right,
You're
Nancy,
right. You're right. You're right. I mean,
you
we could sit here and pick apart, but where's it going to get us? And I know that just like that guy was saying, Michigan, what's wrong with you people? Yeah, but a lot of people have kids that they aren't willing to go fight a
they're so
war,
out of something that,
not come home to their kids, and I'm talking about like not a war, like
well, it can be that
class
way.
of,
They're trying so hard to push this division and try to get this civil unrights, and they had a flag yesterday that they were parading around that I have never seen before. I didn't know what country. I Googled it. There was no country. They've made up their own flag. It's blue, white, and green. Okay, well, so I don't have to follow your flag. And again, I'm going to make this comment. When you're out there talking in the streets and you're saying the things that you're saying, you're not speaking for all of America. You're speaking for yourself. Because I'm not out there going along with your rhetoric, and I'm not saying defund the police, and I'm not out there busting buildings and burning down churches. You're doing this for yourselves, not for us, not for the other people. There was a lady they interviewed that lived in this apartment complex by where this was going on, and her son was with her, and he said, well, I come over here to protect her every night. This happens every night, and it's happened every night for 3 years. Guys, 3 years. I wasn't even doing what they're doing now 3 years ago.
What were they just like blue, white, and green stripe?
It was a blue on the top, a big white one, and a green one on the bottom, and something in the middle with the white on the white.
Because there is a couple like that. There's a Sierra Leone flag.
They called it, the people in the chat called it by name, but they said it was a made-up flag.
No, because there's also the flag of Uzbekistan. And sorry, not sorry for pronouncing it wrong.
Well, we're not from there to pronounce all those things.
Right, exactly.
Like I said last night, and I'm going to preach it from the highest mountain. The United States is a Christian nation. We are founded on Christian beliefs, not Muslim beliefs, Christian beliefs. If you're a Muslim and you think we're going to change our beliefs and our way of thinking because you've came into our country, you're wrong. Right. You're wrong. Go back to where they believe like you do, but they don't want to go there because they could get hurt there. So they want to bring their violence and their crap here. Sorry, I don't want it. I don't want it.
I don't know. Maybe just that whole left side of the United States needs to break away and be their own country, like from Washington and what is it, Oregon? That's between Washington. I don't know the West very well.
California and all those people. But here's our problem with that. You know what? Mold grows.
Well, I understand that, but let's build a wall. Can
you imagine? We're already building a wall.
I know.
There's a wall between. There's an invisible wall between everybody right now that they're trying to divide us.
Right. And then you just tell people that they can vote however they like, have whatever kind of government they want, and have a giant Taco Tuesday day.
No, I think that people should have to live under laws and regulations and things like that we always have had to. Period. The
Well,
police need to be able to do their jobs and not get spit on. And I'm not going to live in fear that somebody, I mean, that's just going to grow.
you know that, and I know that, but half of America doesn't accept that.
And they're not just on that side.
And you know the word that I really, really, really am tired of hearing? Fascist. Fascism.
Fascist, okay, we're a fascist, Nazi. Okay, now let's go here.
Yeah.
We're fascist, Nazi, communistic, these are all the things that they're saying we are.
Yes.
We're fascists, we're commies, we're Nazis.
Yes.
Okay. Now let's think about those words for just a second. Aren't they displaying the actions of all of those three words themselves?
Well, no.
Well, the Nazis did what they're doing out there, causing all kinds of trouble and causing war and making fights and doing all that kind of stuff. The fascists did that too. Communists, they think that they can tell us what to do. They think they can get out there and speak for me. No, they can't. That's communism. And they're sitting there saying, this is what we're doing to them. We're not doing that to them. They're doing it to themselves. And you know what's going to happen, guys? And I can guarantee you, when our freedom of speech is gone because these guys are out there being such morons, they will not blame themselves.
Oh, no. It'll be Trump's fault.
Oh, it's always his fault.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well then
Trump
Mark
did this to country.
He didn't do anything to this country. This is all a bunch of people. If it doesn't matter who is in office right now, they have an agenda to make. They want the division to happen, and they don't care who's in office. Let's be honest. They really don't care who's in office. They were doing that fighting and stuff. Well, maybe not when Biden was in there because they were getting their way, and we were going through the courts and trying to do it the legal way. I just worry about the day when the quiet man stands up. And that's going to happen because the quiet man is going to get tired of listening. And he's going to get tired of being shoved. And it's like taking the rat and pushing him in the corner. You know what? Don't ever trap a rat in a corner because he's going to get out. He's going to get out.
I wish there was a way that the president could make gun laws, which would be every state has the right to open carry.
Mm-hmm. It'd be like
I hate it here. I have a pistol. I could put it in my purse. It fits perfectly in my little hand. And I can't take it with me because I don't have a CPL. Why am I going to give the state $75 or $100 to be able to carry my gun?
I wonder during the Wild Wild West if they have a permit to carry them.
I'm just saying, whether anybody knows it or not,
we have open carry too, Donna.
In our country, like a lot of states charge hunting license, fishing license, special hunting license if you want to do special like elk or something, moose or something like that, marriage license, driver's license. Those are all illegal, you guys.
Oh, and how about divorce decrees?
Yeah, they're all illegal. You should never have to pay for a license for anything. That's the cities and the states permit.
what about an inspection?
Yeah.
We're going to pay $75 to put a license on our car.
Oh, I heard a horrific story. There was oh, where was it? Where was it? There was a hailstorm and it damaged. It was condos or townhouses, and it was an HOA. And they sent out a letter last week. And I guess the hailstorm was like last year. And they sent out a letter last week that said every household had to pay $20,000 by October 1st or get a lien put on their home because to make up for the damage of the hail. Now, the one woman, she says, why should I have to pay that? I just moved here in March.
Well, and the people that have insurance that took care of their home, why should they have to pay for it?
Well, because it's their insurance, the HOA's insurance either didn't cover it or it's $3 million is what they're saying the insurance wants. And it's like, I will never live in an HOA. I'll be damned if somebody's going to tell me what flowers I can plant, what color I can paint my door,
yep,
what color I can paint my house.
Yep.
I own that house, not you. I do.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, in my opinion, and I could be
they are unconstitutional.
Yeah, I could be very wrong, but most HOA communities are upper income because the fees that they charge you is almost as much as your mortgage a month. And if there's a problem, you're expected to fix it immediately.
Doesn't it start with the neighborhood watch committee and then it ends up being an HOA?
My girlfriend down in Florida has an HOH, and it's a 55 plus senior community, obviously. And I'm not categorizing, but it's mostly people that are 60 plus or 70 plus, and it's mostly a Jewish community. But the thing is when you got a Karen that lives, hopefully nobody's name is Karen. If so, I apologize. But if you got a Karen living next door, their next door neighbor had his girlfriend move in, and she started bitching about their bushes and this and this and this.
You know what I've noticed about those? Okay, let's put it this way, guys. All right. We're all guilty of this, every single one of us, whether you admit it or not. And I'm here to admit that, yes, I have been driving down my street and looked at someone's house and thought, oh my God, what were they thinking?
Okay? Yeah, there's a house right over by my mom that has a shocking lime green front door.
Well, no, this is the whole house. Okay, this is the whole house. They've decided to paint the whole house blue and orange. All right. Now, when you're driving down the road and you're looking and you go, ooh, hard on the eyes. But you know what? It's not my home.
Right.
It's not my home.
If you don't like it, don't look.
Yeah. Or you know what? If they want to live in a home that looks like that, then fine. Live there. More power to you. More power to you. Because that's what freedom's all about. We can paint our house any color we want to. And when an HOA thinks they're going to come in here and tell me what color I can paint my house, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, they tell you what kinds of
plants to plant. I don't think so. Be lucky if I put plants out.
What kind of mulch you can use? Oh yeah.
I don't think so.
Anything that they want to tell you to do.
Donna has a Dave.
I saw that.
Not a Karen, but a Dave.
I saw that.
Well, you know what? Dave needs to mind his own business. And a lot of these people need to mind their own business and let you do your own business. I was talking to somebody today at work. They said, what do your neighbors think about? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? I only know 2 of them. And one of them's related to me. So, I don't go up and down the street and meet people because believe it or not, that's not me. I know I'm very outgoing, but to just go over and take a pie to somebody that moved in and said, well, hello, remember the welcome wagon? Remember the welcome wagon? They would come to your house and they'd be so happy to see you.
Remember they used to have housewarming parties?
Right? Yeah, no, none of that's going on. And I don't go across the street with a pie and say, welcome to the neighborhood. Sorry, that's not me. And if somebody came to my house right now with a pie, with the way the world is right now, I would be worried that they're trying to take my house and they want me unalive. Now, whether there are good people in this world, yes, lots of good people in this world. But do you know if they're nice or not? I don't know. They're brand new. I don't know from Adam. I'm just saying. And
before Earl got the new boiler put in, this was 7 years ago, I think. No, whatever. A young couple, kitty corner, bought a house, and he's a heating cooling guy. And Eric's like, well, I'll see if he wants the business. Guy wouldn't even come in the house and look at it. It's like, okay. Haven't said shit or shinola since then. The guy across the street is a pervert.
See, you know your neighbors.
Well, the only reason I know
I don't know mine are
the
perverts.
only reason I know that is because my older son's sister came over with him one time, and she was a stripper, and she had been to his house, and he invites girls back to the house to party. So, yeah. I don't know if Connie froze or if I froze.
Oh, no, it took my internet so we made somebody angry. I mean,
yeah. And
then, welcome to the Twilight Zone.
Right. The only, we know the next door neighbor. She's quiet with her son. Her son's 18, I think, something like that now. And, when we see each other, we say hi, but we don't really sit and chat like my grandparents used to do with their neighbors.
I don't know my neighbors, and I have been here a long time.
The only neighbor I did that with was with the next door neighbor on the other side. It was an older woman, and she would have her family over every Sunday for dinners, and I had vegetable garden. So I would take her cucumbers and tomatoes over to her, and her family just loved them. And
that's awesome.
She went on dialysis, and then she was put in the hospital, and I had saw her son, and they had like a big family gathering, and I asked him, how his mom was doing, and they had put her in a home because her organs started to fail, and she passed away. But he came over and he told me, and I used to go over there to bring her the vegetables, and I'd sit down and talk to her and stuff. She was older, and she did have a couple, they didn't want her living alone. So she did have a couple of her granddaughters that were older, one drive. And they had it was her daughter's kids that would stay with her. Very nice people. Very, very nice. I was so sad when she died because they were only renting that house. I didn't know that at the time. And, the people that moved in made themselves be known to us, and we didn't want to be known to them. they tried to involve us in their fights. She'd come banging
Oh,
on the door. He'd be standing they'd be standing in the driveway
yeah, and that's the last thing you
arguing and
want to.
cussing at each other and back
Yeah,
home.
no, no, that's stuff that needs to be stayed at home. Don't
And that's
involve
when
me.
the house got burnt down because they got evicted.
Well, my next door neighbor, very next door neighbor, that's a rental home. So we never know who's going to be over there. And right now it's empty next door. So I don't know. You know, we have a new red bar dome 650K. Mr. Dave built it.
Bardominium. What is
Wow.
that?
A barn dominium. He built a great big huge
Must be
barn.
a pole barn.
It's probably a huge barn. 650,000 worth of pole barn. That's a big pole
That's a
barn.
big ass barn.
Wow, it's a barn. Wow.
That's a cute name for it though. Bardominium.
Wow. Wow. Well, we don't have um, a large barn home.
Oh, okay.
Well, there you go.
Well, it's kind of like my son's house. It looks like a old farmhouse, but it's sitting like this way instead of this way.
Wow.
So yeah,
Huh. Well,
a lot of the houses on the street are designed like that. Some sit sideways, some sit forward. The one kitty corner this way sits forward. Ours is sideways.
and it's thin, going straight back. I don't they call that a shotgun house or something like that?
No, it's the same size.
Right. But if it's sitting long ways and the door's in the front and the door's in the back, they call it a shotgun home.
Well, I don't know. We have two back doors. We have one that comes in. Um, Actually, it's a side door, but it's in the backyard. Um, and it goes to the porch,
Yeah.
enclosed in porch, and then that comes into the dining room. And then we have sliding doors in off the kitchen into the backyard.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So we have three exits. And the trap in the basement for me to get out of is in the porch. There's a square cutout, and all I have to do is be tall enough to push on it, and I can get out.
Well, that's a good thing. Just get on your chair.
I'd have to use a chair, guys.
That's what they are called. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's called a shotgun home.
Black steel roof.
It has a black door. It's huge, sideways, too large for the area. Eyesore. Yeah, I don't have any of those fancy schmancy things. I just have a home, and I don't know who my neighbors. Boy, don't I sound pathetic? Just have my house.
Is nice.
I don't have. Oh, it is nice, but I just have a home, and I don't know my neighbors other than the one across the street that we want to build an atrium that goes over the street like a bridge, so we don't have to go to public.
I mean, I don't have neighbors. I don't have neighbors like my mom, where she could call the next door neighbor or the neighbor down the street and say, "Hey, I'm baking and I ran out of sugar. Can I borrow?"
Oh no, I don't have that going on. Either.
We don't have those kind of neighbors either.
No, I don't have any of that. Now, the neighbor that was living in the house next door always used to send her kids over asking if they could borrow things, but I never sent mine.
And unfortunately, my mom lives on a house that lives in a house that only has 16 houses on her street. It's a short house. My mom and the next door neighbor right next to her are the last two surviving original owners.
Wow.
And at that, it's not the original owners, it's their son. Just like the original owners of my mom, it's her. But they both were there when they were kids. My mom moved there. I think she was eighth. She was eighth grade going into ninth. I think she said,
Wow.
or something like that.
Yeah.
She moved there in 1952.
Wow.
She's been there ever since.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many houses I've owned. But then I've lived all over it seems like I've moved from one place to the other, to the other, to the other. I mean,
I used to move a lot.
I moved a lot. I lived in Colorado and Wyoming. And
I think I figured it one time that I moved about 27 times.
Well, I didn't go that far.
Yeah.
I hate packing. I would rather go before a firing squad, I think, than to have to pack.
But that's before I accumulated furniture and stuff, where it was just basically, taking things that was Chris's, but he was so little at the time. He was only 5 months old, so it was basically just my stuff, and it would all fit in one car at one trip.
I'm going to tell you a story that's going to make y'all laugh. Okay, so when we moved, when we were a lot younger, Clyde and I, when we moved, I was working crazy hours. So I was pregnant, so I couldn't do a lot of packing. So when we got to our new home, Clyde had packed all of us. And the label said, if he was here, he'd start laughing and say, that's right. What the labels said were shit and more shit. So you didn't know what was in the box until you got in there and opened it up.
That sounds like something Earl would say.
So some of those, you open those drawers that have junk in them that you're like, well, I might need some of that. You just take the drawer and drop it in the box and say, wherever I get, I'll clean that out when I get there. And then 5 years later, you open that box and go, yeah, I guess I could have thrown all that out because I haven't used it in 5 years. What they say is if you haven't used it all in 5 years, then you can get rid of it. Well, you know what? I'm always afraid because I got weird stuff that what if I need it? And it never fails when I get rid of it. I need it and I have to go buy another one. So
you know what I do? And I'm guilty of this, guys. If company's coming over and you want your dressers cleared off, I am notorious for shoving everything in a drawer. And it's like, I'll get to it later.
And you never do. And then you open that drawer and go, oh my God, that's where that is that you've been looking for the last month. Yep. Yeah. Yep. I am really bad about that. And I am a stacker like you would not believe. I can stack anything. I can stack garbage so I don't have to take it out. I can stack. Look, it's confession night. I'm confessing.
Speaking of stacking, I feel so bad for my postman. He delivered 9 packages today, and he's got 12 tomorrow.
And he's a stacker.
No, they're being delivered to my house.
Well, look at that.
And it's not Timo, you guys. It's not Timo. No.
Well, mine would be from Timu. So you need to go to confession and say a prayer for your mailman.
Yes.
The
thing is this, guys. My Christmas shopping is done.
Oh, good for you.
And I bought for 11 kids, 6 kids' birthdays out of those 11. And 4 adults. And I
haven't done one lick of Christmas shopping, and I will be that person on Christmas.
This gets better.
Running around.
This gets better. I only spent $500, and they have Under Armour shirts and Nike outfits and Invicta watches. If anybody knows what that is, they start at 200 and go up to like $500. So everybody's getting awesome gifts this year.
That's awesome.
I found a
Like
new
I
app,
said,
guys.
I will be out Christmas Eve going, what's left?
Yeah, I
I
found a
am
new app
horrible
if
about that.
anybody's interested.
But by golly, my house will look really decorated for Christmas. You know,
Well, I mean,
prioritize.
and
Technically,
technically, I only spent 250 because my mom and I split it, and then I just put both our names on it. So, and sometimes I just buy it and put her name on it,
yeah.
and sometimes she buys it and puts my name on it. So, but yeah, I'm really proud of that haul. That includes clothes and gifts
It's
and
awesome.
toys and jewelry. And oh my gosh, you guys got to know this app. It's great.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to get snow down here. So everybody get ready because I have predicted it. I have seen it in a dream. I know it's going to happen. So everybody get your snowsuits ready because South Texas is going to get a snowstorm. So I started.
No,
I,
you did not.
I started buying boxes of wood.
Oh, wood. Okay.
Yeah, for my fireplace.
Yeah.
So the log you put in for an hour and a half, 2 hours. I've started, and I'm going to start sacking
Yeah, but those don't throw a lot of heat, right?
the one they have.
Have they?
Yeah, they work out really pretty good. And I'm going to tell you this: my house is different than most people. They have their fireplace on an outer wall. My fireplace is on an inner wall. So,
Oh, okay.
so
Yeah.
it really produces the heat.
Well, that's good.
It keeps my electric bill really in check, and it works really good in the wintertime. Of course, we haven't really gotten really too awfully cold, but this year, by golly, I'm going to be ready. So I haven't done my Christmas shopping, but I'm going to be ready for that snowstorm.
My mom's oldest daughter had a house that had a fireplace in the middle of it. It went between the front room and the family room.
Ours goes between both on the kitchen wall. Actually, it's kind of weird. The walls here and has a fireplace, and then behind the fireplace is part of my kitchen and my laundry room.
Sounds pretty. I never saw the fireplace.
Oh, I have been known to make it smoke a lot in there. Smoke alarms go off. The dogs go and hide underneath the toilet. But this year, when you fire off the wood that's wet or whatever that's not ready. But this year I got logs, and I'm getting ready for my snowstorm, and I guess I'll do my Christmas shopping sometime in the near future. Let me get through Halloween, and then I'll start doing some of that. Yeah.
Around your house, are people decorating anybody? Because around here, oh my gosh, you'd think it was Christmas with purple and orange lights.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
There is a guy that is about. Okay, I've seen two houses. There's a guy that's 2 blocks from me that has a blow up skeleton that's got to be every bit of 18, 19 feet. I mean, it's huge, way up there. And then when you go down the highway towards the Walmart, there's a house there that probably sits on an acre or two. And in the driveway, it's got these 2 16-foot. Now, they're not blow up. There's 16-foot tall skeletons on each.
Oh, I've seen those. The street has one of those.
It's on each side of his driveway. Yeah, Daisy was all excited about that one. Look at those. And I'm looking for them that are about this big, skeletons that are about this big, because I have to put them in displays. And she's like, yeah. They were crazy. They were crazy tall. Now I would have something like a reindeer like that. There's a guy that has a reindeer that's like that down the street. That's humongous.
You know, I felt so bad 2 years ago. It was Earl and his wife's first Christmas married together, and she didn't have a great home life. So he wanted to make it special for her, and he went and bought all kinds of lights and decorations and blow ups. Do you know every last one of them didn't even last the whole season?
Oh,
And he wasted hundreds of dollars.
that's so sad.
So he was so pissed off. He bought one set of lights that go on the under part of the eave of the house,
Uh,
and he's got them on the bottom and on the top of the house. And yeah, he changes the colors by his phone, and they have pre-programmed ones for holidays.
those. That's cool. That's the guy across the street has that happening, so he doesn't ever have to hang up lights. They wrote that song "Redneck Woman" about me because I keep my Christmas lights up all year long. Confession, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I'm telling you, this mouth is really going tonight, isn't it? It's telling all my bad traits. I don't, whatever. You know what? If my trick-or-treaters don't like green and red, forget it. In fact, we don't even get trick-or-treaters.
I was going to say, we don't get trick-or-treaters anymore.
No, we have trunk or treat. You have to go to the park and open your trunk and
yeah, like most of the churches around here do that, and some of the parks do it. It's safer. Kids don't have to run across the street, and from not listening to their parents, don't run across the street.
Right.
You know, and then you got people trying to drive and watch their kids to make sure nobody snatches them. And
I always loved Halloween, though. That was a fun
yes,
time.
you know, they don't have common sense.
Well, we're going to, maybe we should spend some money and give them some sense. Common sense. I don't know. I'm just being silly tonight. I'm really tired. But tonight, I'm going to put another plug in if you get a chance. Tonight, look up. He's going to be on again tonight. So I don't know what time it is in Australia right now. I was going to tease. I
believe it's 9 o'clock in the morning. I think we're 12 hours difference.
Okay, well, no wonder he was on there for so many hours last night. I was going to tease Thomas about it, but he's not on here tonight. But yeah, he'll be on tonight, and he will be covering the Portland new zoo review, and it will be, I don't know what time he's going on, but if you get a chance, check him out. He's really funny, making funny out of a bad situation. And it is, believe me, a horrific situation. There's really not much to laugh about. But sometimes, guys, that's all we can do. Because if you don't, you just get angry, right? And then anger just fuels the flames of more utter nonsense.
Anybody in Australia that lives around Perth, it is 9 o'clock in the morning, and Christmas Island is 8 o'clock in the morning, and in Kingston it's 12 o'clock lunchtime.
Oh, wow.
They're plus 11 hours from Eastern time.
Wow. There you go. So I'm sure he's getting his self.
So it's daytime in Australia anywhere you go, basically.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's getting ready to. He's probably had his coffee and he's getting ready to watch the nonsense in the United States and laugh at us. I really hate for us to be the butt of everybody's joke, right? But then when you watch it, you kind of can understand it for sure.
Hey, what about those lions?
Right? Hey, there's a frog and a chicken and a lady that should be getting it for a decent exposure.
I should have told if I would have known that, I would have told the cat at the Renaissance Festival to go to Portland.
Right, there you go. They're all hanging out there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand what that's got to do with the ICE agents, but anyway, it's
I think it's because they don't want their family to recognize them.
that's exactly what it is. That's really the bottom line. We can make up excuses all day long, but the real truth is they don't want anyone to know that they're the ones out there parading around, calling cops.
Yeah, because they don't want to lose their jobs.
Yeah, well, you know, like I said, if you're so proud of it, show your face.
Guarantee the ones that are covered up are the ones that have jobs.
Well, and at night, if you don't realize it, I can give you a heads up too. When it's night in Portland, like nighttime, they do a shift change on the Antifa squad, and the destructive ones come out late at night.
Oh, yeah. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
So, there you go.
That makes perfect logical sense.
It's crazy. All right, guys, it's been a wonderful Monday night with you. So glad I got to spend some time with y'all.
I'm going to learn where the camera is one of these days. I keep doing
They'll get you for that. And we will see you guys on Thursday. Same place, same time. Love you all. Have a great Tuesday and Wednesday, and we'll see you on Thursday. Please press like on your way out the door.
Wow, you're just not letting me say anything tonight. Good
Say
night.
it. Say what all you want to say. Say it all.
Good night. Now I'm sad.
Now you're sad. Good night, y'all.
Good night, everybody.
From shady news to crime so rough, you already know we just can't make this stuff.